In this short film, Oliver and I are going to be sharing with you some of the experiences that we've discovered between working for a big company, so an employer, and running our own company. And we'll both be giving examples of what life was like and what life is like now. So I've been working on my own, as it were, first as a sole trader and then developing into having my own company, DJ Learning. This has been for about 10 years, and gosh, that time has gone really, really quick. I can remember leaving the bank that I worked for and had worked for 26 years, and I'd been thinking about doing this, setting up my own business for quite a while beforehand. And I sought advice. I took guidance from people who were doing similar sort of thing and tried to get very clear in my mind what was a real positive and what was perhaps not quite so positive. A piece of advice that will always stick in my mind was from a really good colleague then and colleague now of mine, and he said to me, David, he said, if you're going to leave the world of full-time employment, make sure that before you leave that escalator, before that escalator stops, the next escalator starts. So in other words, make sure I'd started to get my name out there in the rest of the big wide world, to get myself known, to see that when I set up as on my own, that with a bit of luck, I'd have some business to go to. So in the very early stages, I left the bank, and as I thought, had two really good clients to start me off when I began life as a sole trader. Life was looking good. Bit of a challenge came from nowhere that I really didn't anticipate. It was called the last recession. And I can remember starting up as a sole trader in the summer. That was the summer when the Great Recession, our last Great Recession, came. The two clients that I had lined up with what I thought would give me a steady income for the first few months while I was looking elsewhere, rained right back. And the 100% worth of work that I planned for from those two clients went back to 20%. So big, big cutback. That demonstrates perfectly the risk that you take when you set up your own business. But what it also does is get you to think really, really carefully about what you want to do and how you want to do it. Because when you run your own business, which is now developed into DJ Learning Limited, without doubt it comes with risk. Because we have to go to the work, we have to go to the clients, we have to understand what those clients want. Because unless we're very lucky, and we have had some wonderful people come to us for work because they've known us and known us from before, but as a normal business as usual type of environment, we have to go out and we have to compete to get client work. And that of course comes with risk, because you don't have any guarantees at all. You have to be relentless in your pursuit of new work and never ever take it for granted that tomorrow will continue to be the same as today, because quite often it doesn't. So for example, in the world of running your own business, now our own company, sometimes clients will just come from nowhere that you've perhaps not heard about. The very same thing happened to us last autumn when one of the big English universities came to us and asked us to be involved to design and deliver 2 MOOCs. Absolutely wonderful. But we didn't know that was coming, but somebody contacted us from previous reputation, good reputation that we'd had. Conversely, other clients might say, actually, we are cutting back here, or we're going in a different direction. So you have to be really, really passionate about your appetite to embrace change. Nothing ever stays the same, which means every week is different, which means if you embrace the life of 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, then it might be worth reflecting about whether setting up a small business is the way to go, because DJ Learning, like other all small companies, have to be that flexible. If a client wants work done at the weekend, then that's what we do. If we have a deadline that means putting everything else aside for a short period of time, then that's what we need to do. And of course, a few years ago, as the company started to grow, I needed somebody to work with me, and Oliver came to join DJ Learning last summer. So Oliver, what's been your experience of changing from the world of employment to working for a small private company?
There's a number of fundamental differences. So again, that flexibility of needing to meet client demands, weekend work, there's less meetings, there's very rarely any need for them, there's less layers of bureaucracy, so that makes decision making that much easier. I mean, it is very different, but again, you embrace the change, and like with anything, you get on with it and look forward to and embrace the challenges that brings.
I think another thing that becomes really then important running our own company is it is really important that you can work together closely and have a working relationship of undoubted trust, because you have that interdependency. So we both have our roles and responsibilities in different areas, and we both know that we've got this common ground of working together to be productive every minute that we are in work, because you cannot have downtime when you are in the working environment, because when you've got your own company, then quite rightly, client expectations are relentless. If you've given a commitment to deliver on time, that means you deliver on time. If a client gives us an expectation of something they've asked us to do, then our first thought always will be, how can we exceed those client expectations? What more can we do? And another thing that we are really passionate about is we don't think about us first, we think about the client first. And when we're working with the clients that we're privileged to work with, our first priority is to understand how we can work with them to make a difference, and to really understand what it is in their organisation they are looking for some help with. And once we've really got an understanding about that, that really increases our chances of being able to work in harmony with them to make a difference to the way that their organisation works. But in terms of a small business, it is just incredibly different. And the word that I always come back to is increased focus, because this company is ours, and we don't go anywhere else to pass on responsibility unless we've built a team of colleagues that we've known from different environments from before that will work with us on a particular project. Responsibility stops with Oliver and myself. That's it. And so when you run your own company, you have to be quite comfortable with that. You don't have anywhere else to go. So when, as it has been for the last 10 years, my sole trader and now our learning company continues to grow year on year, it's for a combination of a whole number of things. Firstly, we've got an increased presence in the marketplace, which we've had to work very hard at. We've worked really hard at retaining the clients that we've got, which is obviously something that we want to do and any small business should want to do. And we are relentlessly marketing and looking for new opportunities out there, as any small business would want to do. So the purpose of this film was to share with you some of the experiences that Oliver and I have both had from working in the organisational world within almost a safety net, if that is the right word to use, of having an employer that pays you every month, to one where what we earn is directly and specifically down to the two of us in terms of what we deliver for our clients. It's very exciting. You have to be really careful about work-life balance because it can become all-encompassing running your own company. I know, and Oliver knows, that there are times when it gets very, very busy and you have to put in a lot of time, understandably, and we both accept that. But we both need to be quite careful just to keep a little bit of a balance and make sure that we come up and do different things from time to time, just to get that balance between everything. It actually makes us perform better in the workplace anyway. So we hope that you have the opportunity to look at our website, which is www.djlearning.co.uk. We hope you like what you've heard just now. And we also hope that we have the chance one day to meet with you and to discuss ways in which we can work together. Thank you very much.